Welcome back. We are about to start our second game of the day. We're going to have a quick recap on what's happened across on our other fields though. We've had the open quarters for the men's games, the opens games. We watched I-Beam defeat Fishwick 15-8. So I-Beam are through to the semi-final against Slice, who defeated Crank. In the other semi-final, we're going to have Dice versus Ellipsis, who both ended up on 15 in their game, so a bit of a send. What do you think about our women's games? We've had a little bit of a tiny upset, have we?
No, not an upset at all, actually. It was looking likely there for a moment. Manly fought their way back into the game against Ellipsis. Ellipsis pulled it out in the end. It was 12-11, game to 13. Ellipsis scoring the final point to take that one. Unfortunate, really, for them. It was so close, Manly, but they'll probably face each other later in the tournament.
And what do we have happening on our field now in this next time slot?
So we're going to see GWS play off against Factory. This is going to be a great game. Both of these teams in the middle of the pack. This is going to sort out some standings and some rankings, and it's going to really answer the question of who's playing who in the semi-finals.
So obviously both teams are going to be hunting for the win, Factory especially, as they need this win to make it through to the semis.
All right, we'll be back very shortly with this game coming up from the Australian Ultimate Championships in 2021.
What is spirit of the game?
It's knowing the rules and when they apply.
It's avoiding body contact wherever possible.
It's keeping a positive attitude and enjoying the sport.
It's being fair-minded even when the game is on the line.
It's communicating respectfully with your opponent.
We're here with the toss, ladies.
Do you want to call it? Yeah, I'll sure. 3, 2, 1. Odds.
Can we please take that in?
Yeah, we'll start on defense.
Awesome. I'm going to ask you a quick couple of questions, Betty, from GWS. How are you feeling about this game?
We're pretty pumped about this game. We've played Factory quite a few times throughout the season. We're always trailing behind, but I feel like right now we've got the legs and we've got the energy to really fire up and play our best for this one.
Awesome. Did you play this morning?
We did. We just played against Spicy Chili and we won that game. So awesome. We're all super hyped.
Awesome. What are we expecting to see from your team in this next game?
You're expecting to see a lot of different zone structures because it is a little bit windy. So I think we'll be utilising quite a few zones this time.
Awesome. I'm excited to see it. Good luck. Thank you for your time. We'll see you out there.
Thanks.
Laura, I'll get you come over. Laura from Factory, a Canberra local. How are you feeling about the toss?
About the toss? Yeah. I mean, I like to win, so I would have liked to have won the toss. But yeah, that's fine. We like starting on defence. Yeah. Obviously, with the wind, end is important as well. But we're happy we got defence come out firing.
Awesome. And have you played this morning?
Yeah, we played Melbourne Phoenix this morning. They put on... They're really fast, made us run, made us work hard, but we came away with the win and we were pretty comfortable with that, which is cool.
Awesome. How are you feeling about this next game?
Yeah, feeling good. It's a game that we know that we can win, but we still got to go out and win it. We've got to work really hard. We know that they're going to want to beat us for sure. And so we've just got to work really, really hard, play smart as well and make sure we get the job done.
Awesome. And are we expecting to see anything different from you guys? What's your plan for the next hour and a half?
Well, we know that they've got a long game. We just observed them at the end of their last game and saw a lot of horror, a lot of wanting to put it to a couple of players in particular. So we want to be shutting that down. And then it'll really just be a matter of readjusting to the offense that we see and the defenses that they put on us.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. Good luck out there. We'll see you soon. We're going to head to a quick break and we'll be right back with a fiery game.
Ultimate is a non-contact team sport.
with 7 aside on the field and played with a flying disc.
The field is 100 metres long, including 18-metre end zones, and is 37 metres wide.
A goal is scored by completing a pass in the end zone.
Ultimate is self-refereed.
Players are responsible for upholding the rules and for resolving fouls and violations themselves.
Each point starts with a pull.
Teams line up in opposing end zones, and the defensive team will throw to the offensive team to start play.
After every goal, teams swap ends.
The team that scored starts the next point on defence.
The disc is moved around the field by throwing it to teammates.
Once players have the disc, they set a pivot foot like netball or basketball and can't move from there.
Players have 10 seconds to throw the disc.
This is counted out loud by the closest defender.
An incomplete pass is a turnover, no matter who touched it last.
When a foul or violation call is made, players will discuss whether they agree on what happened.
If they agree, the call is uncontested and the fouled player retains possession.
If they don't agree, the call is contested and play resets to where the last completed pass was.
If a player anticipates a collision with another player, they can call pick to pause the play.
If the pause didn't affect the outcome of a throw, play resumes.
If it did affect the outcome, play resets to the last completed pass.
First to 15 goals wins the game.
If the game clock reaches 100 minutes, time cap is called and the score target is reduced to one more than the current winning score.
For example, if the score at time cap is 12-10, the new target score is 13.
You can't run the clock down. Teams have to score the last goal to win the game.
And welcome back to the Australian Ultimate Championships of 2021. This is the final round in the women's pool play. We have GWS Blaze out of Sydney playing off against Factory from the ACT. My name is Daniel Clinton and I'm joined by Laura Hutton here in the commentary booth.
Good morning, and what a beautiful morning it is. Not much wind at the moment, but it has been gusting up earlier. And looking forward to see these two teams come out firing against each other.
Yeah, it was very cold this morning, quite chilly. It got down into the single digits here in Canberra overnight. We're going to have a look at the team sheets. So looking at Factory, we have several big names. Laura Emerson, one of the captains, she was the one giving the toss and giving us a little bit of insight into this Factory team. She'll be involved in the action a lot. Another one is Ju Birchall. Big receiver down the field, physical presence. It'll be up to her to dominate the skies for Factory.
That's right, and now taking a look at the GWS roster. We have, look out for number 5, Rachel Cooney, a bit of an up-and-comer here. We also have number 38, Thea Osmond, actually a transplant from Factory, so might be able to give the GWS side some inside knowledge there.
Well, I look forward to seeing it. Factory already on the line, ready to go. GWS breaking their huddle now. This is the last round in women's pool play, so this will settle the standings. We'll find out who comes where and who plays who in the knockout rounds coming up very shortly.
Yes, we will be streaming one of those games at 3 o'clock this afternoon, yet to be determined depending on the results of this game.
So right now, 2 of the better teams in Australia from the women's division. Factory are going to be pulling from the right of your screen. GWS to receive.
The wind blowing left to right and just a little bit from the near side to the far side. So a bit of a diagonal wind here today.
But less blustery than it has been in the last few days, Laura.
That is true. We saw some good winds on Friday and Saturday, making it difficult for teams then. It's a little bit calmer this morning, but we are expecting them to pick up later.
Georgie Burchett with the pull, one of the up-and-comers in this Factory team. GWS are going to go to work out of a vertical stack. Middle of the field. They come near sideline. And out and away. There's two in the area. That's a goal. Annalise Hedich with the point, opening the account for GWS.
What a lovely, quick, offensive point that was. Very clean, very structured.
See the stack, very nice and clean in the middle of the field there, opening up the space in the near sideline. Yeah, and a very, very nice flick out into the space. Hedich, pretty much the only one that could catch that one.
That's true. The other receiver in the area, noting that she was out of position, calling Hedich through to take that.
So we're off to a good start here, 1-0 straight away. Factory, it's their chance to have a turn on offense. There's been no turns.
That is true. They will be coming downwind at a little bit of an advantage.
Betty Tan pulling. Nice pull, goes most of the length of the field. Birchall to pick it up. Centers to Edie. They go far side of the field. GWS bringing a zone defense straight away. And the long shot is there. The receiver wasn't watching at all. It's going to go sideways, out of bounds. No chance at that, and we see the first turn of the game.
We do. I don't know that Factory will be happy with that, but they'll be able to apply some good defensive pressure here. GWS having to work it up the full length of the field now.
Alicia Handley going to pick it up for GWS, one of the main handlers. She'll have a job here to do. Vertical stack from GWS, good defense down the field. The inside shot is blocked, and a turnover. 2 passes, 2 turns. Factory have got it again. GWS go back to their zone defense. Birchall, far sideline, looks to break. Finds the gap to Edie. Far sideline, Factory go fast into the goal. 1-1.
What a beautiful offense that was. That little push through the cup, just what they needed to string those passes together down the far sideline.
Great flow from the Factory offense, finding their rhythm there. Once they broke the containment of the zone, they were off to the races, and down the field they went, not letting that zone get that containment back.
That's right. One of the ways to break a zone like that is to keep the disc moving quickly. Let all the defenders leave the defenders behind the disc. We have Chantel here from the sideline. Chantel?
Yes, both teams in the flip talked about the wind and how that would pay an effect, but it's actually just dropped down at the moment, which did help Factory to play through that zone, find the gaps a little bit more. It'd be great to see how that plays out the rest of the game and if the wind picks up again.
Great information from the sideline. Thanks, Chantel. Factory are now back on defense.
They are. We'll see whether they pull out a zone look of their own or whether they stick to person defense here.
Burchett, second pull of the game, and it's another good one. GWS out of the vertical again. Monty goes early, doesn't get it. Throw to the open side. A long shot to Monty. She's going to have to go for this. Oh, it's too easy for Hannah Monty. It's way too easy.
What a lovely pass there from the middle of the field. Number 17, Madison O'Connor, ripping that one the length of the field. And when we see the replay, we'll actually see that the defender from Factory came through to bid on that, putting herself behind the disc, giving O'Connor the opportunity to throw whatever she wanted.
And, well, she went with the backhand. Look at this, inside out into the space. What a throw that is. It sits perfectly in front of Monty, who has wheels for days. Incredible.
See there with the replay, that defender just on the wrong side after bidding for that disc.
Okay. GWS, they've been clean so far. Only the 1 turn, 2 scores.
They have, but Factory's back on offense now, ready to receive that pull.
Tara G to pull for GWS. Veteran of the sport, Australian representative. Another good pull, it's going to land in bounds. This one's the biggest one of the day. It's going to hang a bit. giving the GWS defense time to get down the field. Birchall fakes off the face cut. Is going to jack the backhand to receivers. It's Edie underneath it. Edie leaves it. It's caught. Edie, oh, there's a massive miscommunication there. Abby Dawson thinking Edie was going to the left. Edie went to the right, and it's another turnover.
It is, but again, advantageous for Factory as they have the whole field to defend here.
GWS out of their vertical stack as they have all game so far. Factory clamping down and poaching down into that near side space. The cross-field throw goes up. It's a brilliant catch. Parker goes back to the middle to G. She looks down the field, has the cut out of the stack. Cooney can't catch it. Dawson is going to have another crack at this. She wants redemption. She decides to dump it. Resets the stall count. Factory trying to sort out their stack and their structure. Birchall takes a shot to the end zone.
High floaty one that didn't hang as long as I think Birchall would have wanted it to there.
Conditions ever changing at the moment. The wind has picked up a little bit, so it just took the air out of that completely. GWS, for the first time, they've audibled out into a horizontal stack. Nice under. Cooney goes up the line. It's hand blocked. Potentially a foul call.
Just having a quick discussion there about what happened, the intention behind it. Our game advisor moving down into the area to see if his opinion is needed.
Not sure it's going to be. It looks like they're sorting it out. Uncontested is the hand signal there. Dawson agreeing that she fouled Cooney. So Cooney will get this one back. Disc in on 0.
That's it. And we can see the GWS looking to increase the cuts with that horizontal look.
Oh, a deep shot to Parker. It's going to fall to the ground. Edie is going to walk to the disc. Hartley set up in the middle as the reset. Hartley gets up the line. Inside. No. Too far. G spots a receiver. Is going to stick a big forehand, but Edie reads it well. It's going to combine with Dawson to get Factory. The offense, they're back on the way. Birchall's going to reach. She's going to reach all the way down the field. Bit of a collision there. Hind with the dish. She's right on the doorstep. An opportunity for Factory to score. Edie is going to settle the offense. She's going to throw it. A floating one that goes over everyone. Hartley bids.
How, that's heartbreaking after that string of great passes down the middle of the field, that visionary look. But the wind just playing with that disc again, keeping it up, bubbling it up over their heads and just out of reach.
Cardenas getting caught underneath the disc in two minds. Should I go up? Should I turn and try and chase it? In the end, it's a turnover. Headich, G, power thrower. Back to Headich. GWS back into a vertical. G looks, finds Parker. She fakes down the line. The reset is there. Tamas to G. She's been all in it, has G, and she's going to reach again down the field. She goes. It's a block by Abby Dawson.
Yeah, Abby putting herself in position there, making sure that that disc would hit the ground.
1 versus 3. She was in the perfect spot for that one.
She was. GWS sticking to a person-to-person defense here. Factory in a vertical stack along the center of the field. Birchall walking to the disc.
So we're expecting these hard-fought long points, lots of turns, lots of opportunities. It's going to be very much about who can take the opportunity. Birchall reaches for Cardenas. It's turned over. Up the sideline they go. Cooney again with it, looking for Parker. Can't find her. She's covered well. Edie doing a job defensively there, taking out the Parker cut.
Being a big presence in front of the disc, hard to concentrate on a good throw when there's a big defender in front of you waving their arms.
Let's go down to Chantel Jones on the sideline.
We're seeing a lot of turnovers this point, and a lot of them are because the disc is just dropping to the ground before it's actually reaching the intended player.
Thanks, Chantel. Birchall. Hartley. Doesn't get it to her. Still looking. Instead goes to Edie, who drops the disc. So now GWS, they've fought themselves into a good position here on the field. The game is sometimes like this. In terrible conditions, position of the disc on the field.
For sure. It's a game of territory. The less space you have to work the disc, the less passes, the less risk of wind or fatigue.
Tamas getting involved. She's on the doorstep, and she throws the assist to Parker, who managed to slip away from Edie there. Blaze with a break, upwind, 3-1.
Right in that corner too. That was a little pass, 2 defenders in the area, but just snuck it through.
Well, it will be a game of millimetres. Whoever can complete that pass, stop that cut, create this situation, stop that situation.
It is. We'll look here as Factory come out on offense to see whether GWS choose to put any different defensive structures on, seeing Factory working upwind. Often teams will use a zone defense when teams are working upwind, but Factory have throwers good enough to combat that kind of zone, able to control the disc and pop it up. Both of these teams coming off a game this morning, feeling a little fatigued possibly, not having a big break between matches here.
Well, it's always a big tournament. It's a long tournament. Here in Australia, we like to do things the hard way. You know, we love our test match cricket, 5 days of gruel and grind. Nationals is no different in ultimate frisbee. It's 4 days here, sometimes playing 3 or 4 games a day. Oh, a nice throw through the middle there. They're off. Emerson getting involved. GWS bringing a zone defense, trying to slow down the Factory offense. De Hoog. They're chipping it around nicely. Grange to Watson, back to Emerson near sideline. They're finding space within the zone at the moment. Grange, she's going to shoot through the middle, and that's a goal. What a throw there by Grange. That's incredible.
Piercing that cup wide open. That's exactly what GWS wouldn't have wanted, putting all those players around the disc to try and contain that forward movement.
So we'll go back to Chantel Jones on the sideline. Chantel, you got some information about the women's division.
We do. So we've just had all our scores entered from the final round, the previous round rather, and this game that we're watching now on field is a very important game. If Factory win, they can potentially move through to 2nd place. If they lose, they can potentially move to 5th. If GWS win, we could be looking at them popping into 4th place, which would put them into the finals. And if GWS take a loss, they'll be into 5th. We did see our final game, Ellipsis against Manly. They did take the win, so Ellipsis still undefeated. I'm very excited to see how this next game plays out. It's very controversial.
Great information. Thank you, Chantel, for finding that out for us. Incredible. It's all to play for here, Laura.
It is. This 2nd, 3rd and 4th standings in the women's division have been hotly contested. Rogue, Manly, Factory have been top 3 contention in every competition they've been in this year. Unable to play against Ellipsis yet.
Oh, confident catch up high. Easy to drop that one. O'Connor, no worries. She's up to the task. G goes to the far sideline. Handley goes with the hammer over the top. O'Connor, safe as houses, catches that as well. She's a little bit stuck. Is going to go up and over and around. Handley. G goes up the line. Gets into the cup, trying to manipulate the defenders. Monty getting involved. O'Connor to G, who drops.
That was a bit of a poachy zone look there from Factory. Not exactly person-to-person defense, but players in marking areas.
Air. Hap to Edie. She's been everywhere, has Edie, and she's going to throw a goal to Mika Hartley. winding back the clock. That is an assist combo that we have been commentating on for years. It's still as good as gold.
It is. That's an amazing pass. And again, the lack of wind making that throw possible. High, floaty, over the top of 3 GWS defenders there.
Chantel Jones on the sideline.
We could hear from the sideline from the factory captain and the factory players as that turnover happened, communicating to the people on the field that they need to have assertive possession. So very much trying to take dominance of the field, and they did exactly that.
Brilliant insight there. Chantel Jones on the sideline, our boundary rider for the game. Native of Canberra, she's doing a great job controlling her bias, I think.
She is, with Factory having the home field advantage here, getting to sleep in their own beds at night. It can make a world of difference in a game like this.
Well, let's see what legs they've got. They're going to come out on defense. Another great pull. The pulling has been excellent this game. Factory, poachy zone again. Parker, so good at it. They're looking, they're working. Mortimer combining. They go quickly down the field. Apple looks towards the middle, can't find it, goes back to Mortimer, who pops one up, and it's going to fall at Parker's feet.
A lovely little tap there, just through that disc off its target, falling just shy of the GWS receiver.
Hope Watson to bring it in for Factory. Pick call in the stack. Looks like Mortimer was impeded in her pursuit of Tamas. So the disc will remain with Hope Watson. Far side of the field, and there's a huck. It's going down, it's going long. Bounces off the hands of Lorna Barr. So GWS are going to get this back. Mortimer demands the disc. Goes around. Another flick huck. This time to the space out the back.
Lovely, and Hedich just not able to turn and receive that disc going over her head. We can hear from the Factory sideline, they're calling out whether they're going to stick with that poachy zone that we're seeing or whether they're going to transition to match on every turn.
Emerson looks for Watson, goes up the line, doesn't get it, gets it now. Emerson goes as well. Far sideline, go Factory, working out of the vertical, the middle of the field now. Tamas pumps the big and then goes back inside with the flick. It goes over the top of one of the defenders' heads. And there's a goal for Factory, riding their luck down the field.
That's it. That was a big attempt there from the GWS defender, getting as high as she could, but that disc just a little bit too high.
Wow, what a play. That was millimeters above the defender's hand. She nearly got the block there. Factory going upwind.
And what a tight game we have here, Daniel. Point for point, not a clean game, but still contentious, still tight, well matched, with both teams responding to the conditions.
Oh, so close. So very, very close by Thea Osmond.
Defending against her own team, that one would have stung.
I wonder if she cut her nails this morning. I think if she had longer fingernails, she would have got that block. That is so close. But Barr benefits and throws the assist. Factory 4-3. But this game is so close right now. There's nothing in it, and games are rarely lost in the first half in Ultimate, are they?
They are. We always say that there's a good point buffer. If it's within 4 points, it's anybody's game.
Well, right now we're pretty much even as GWS have the disc and the opportunity to score. Seems to be a call on the field.
I believe that was a pick call there. Oh, a foul call, thank you.
So a foul call. So they work out what is happening exactly. Steve Baker is in there. We'll see if we can listen in. Okay, Steve Bacon not required. They were just sorting out the stall timing.
Yes. So disc staying where it was.
Okay, GWS still got it. Oh, this one pops up in the air. It's caught. Betty Tan is going to go in the middle of the field. Handley. Looking. Gets the reset. Wong. Comes around to Tan, who has to stretch athletically. Fakes. Looking for a reset. High stall. And the disc falls. She thinks about calling something. If she wants to call it, she's got to call it now.
Having a quick discussion about that.
I'm not sure what the call is. It looks like it may be a foul. Let's have a look at the replay here. Oh, there's a bit of contact, actually. A little bit of a tap on the ankles there as she's running through.
Yep, and our game advisor, Holly, is there providing her opinion, but the call has been retracted, so the turnover will stand.
Yeah, so contact being incidental?
Yes, so incidental contact is avoided when it can be, but we know that it can occur when both people are going for the disc.
So now, Factory, another opportunity. This could give them a little bit of a buffer here. Edie with the frisbee. On the far sideline, there's another call in the stack.
A pick call this time, as the offensive player moves back.
Okay, Edie looking, finds the reset. Birchall swings to the Hoog, and another pick call. Looks like it may, no, it won't stay with Cheryl Ringland. It will go back into the middle of the field. Factory stack at the moment is not very clean, is it?
No, it's not. Hopefully out of this stoppage, they'll clean that up a little bit.
Okay, Edie, she's been in everything early. A real barometer for the Factory team. Speaking of people who are barometers, Birchall to Edie for the score and the 5-3 lead.
They're widening that lead out just a little bit there. 2 points after 24 minutes.
Wow, what a start. Factory are going to be happy with that. GWS, they've had to fight early and now they find themselves slightly behind.
They have Factory coming off a win here against Melbourne Phoenix in their last game. And Chantel on the sideline.
I had a quick chat to Hannah Monty, who is a very knowledgeable and experienced player for GWS. And I asked her what her thoughts were on the game so far. And she mentioned a lot of very simple things about Ultimate. Make sure that their team is having less errors and that they're controlling the ground a lot more so that Factory can get off few passes. So it'd be really good to see if they go back to the basics and if that works for them.
Well, it's true in most sports, isn't it? Score more than the other team, have fewer errors, win game. It's so simple when you break it down like that.
It is, but when you're on the field, everybody's running, there's screaming, you're trying to grab the disc. Those basics can come unstuck, which is why I think it's good that GWS have pulled themselves back and gone, let's just do everything basic, but right.
And it's why we love sports. You know, in theory, it's very easy. Take the disc from one end to the other and don't drop it in the middle or let it hit the ground. And, well, it's not as simple as that, as Tamis is going to get herself a block. Factory now with possession and another opportunity. Emerson going back to pick it up.
Yes, that throw just popping up a little bit too high. The Factory defender being able to get in the middle of it there.
It's a bit of contention over stall timing again, I think. We can actually hear Laura Emerson explaining that. The disc was called in before she'd actually picked it up. She contested the call, and then 88 from Blaze, Celine Taha retracts her call, realising that she wasn't right there.
Yes, great spirit there. After a discussion, realising that the call you made wasn't correct.
Oh, what a bomb from Tamis. And the 33 shirt from Factory makes an absolute meal of it. Caitlin Grange, all alone, had all the time in the world and elevated like she had the a WNBL player on her back shoulder. GWS going down the sideline. Parker. They're on the doorstep. GWS, they need this. They cannot fall much further behind. The reset is there. They're looking. Everyone's on the near side. A face throw to O'Connor with timing. GWS 5-4.
And that defender there, face marking her player, not looking at where the disc was, possibly missing an opportunity to run in and tap that disc.
We'll go down to Chantel Jones on the sideline.
Yes, it looked like there was a little bit of confusion there by Factory in the middle, who had a zone on originally and then needed to transition to match, which allowed GWS to get a couple of big shots through to make a lot of gainers.
Thea Osman, we see her making that beautiful touch throw, timing throw.
And there were a few very tight passes down this sideline. The GWS players doing very well to keep their feet in on the ground. Chantel?
Thea Osman is actually an ex-Factory player, a fantastic young talent out there. She's come up. Both her parents played for Australia. She herself has played for Australia. It's great to see her out there.
You mentioned her in the pre-game, Laura.
I did. I said that she might have some insights for the GWS about how Factory run. Factory being an experienced team here, being together for quite a few years.
Well, Factory hoping for a good result this weekend. They have been one of the few teams to have beat Ellipsis in the recent few years. In 2020, there was a tour event where all the Division 1 teams go and play. They beat Ellipsis in the final 11-4, and it wasn't close.
No.
Maybe, if they can do enough here, get themselves a good seed and get through their semi-final, maybe they can win a title. But first, they've got to get past a tough GWS outfit. Monty into the space. She has the frisbee. She's going to reach with a long forehand. Oh, what a throw by Hannah Monty. Lighting it up on the big stage to Graham in the end zone.
Two Factory defenders there tried to get a hand on that, but Monty giving that disc enough lift, holding it up long enough for her defender to catch it so comfortably in the middle of the end zone.
Oh, we see the throw to space here. It gives Monty a good amount of time. She spots Graham going and then just puts it out. Incredible talent.
Such a beautiful throw there. And yeah, giving Monty the choice of her throws, possibly not wise, given the strength of that forehand there.
Well, the thing about Hannah Monty is, yeah, you don't want her to throw, but you can't exactly stop her getting the frisbee either. So what you gonna do?
That's it. As we look here, now back to evens. Factory and GWS both with 5 points at the 30-minute mark.
Incredible. Great little mini fight back from GWS Blaze. They were teetering on the edge as Factory got out to that early lead. They've found themselves back in the game, 5-all. Osman with the pull. Looks like Emerson is going to pick this up. Looking for Tamas. Tamas with that cannon for an arm. It's going to go short this time. De Hoog to Emerson. Pivots through the wall. Nice movement. Tamas. Oh, a flash D there from Sylvia Wong. Jumping the pass and getting the block.
As we see GWS walking up to the disc, organising themselves into a vertical stack. One player a little bit isolated out the back, now moving in.
Here we go. Osman is going to reach down the field. Well read by Tamas, taking front position. Factory get the disc back. Emerson. Near sideline, Factory with the frisbee. De Hoog to Tamas. Back to Emerson. They're going to break it back to the middle, trying to go around the GWS zone. They turn it over. GWS now, they're fighting the disc down the field.
They are looking at that vertical stack again.
Here we go. GWS, several away cuts. Another turnover. Factory with the frisbee. Oh, what a throw to bar. She can't catch it.
Bullety pass, flat, fast. Hard to get up over your head for those ones. GWS with another chance at the disc, this time having to work it further down the field.
Osman, she's been getting a lot of the handling responsibilities. Oh, nice inside break. Betty Tan getting involved. Near sideline. Thea Osman driving it down the field, is going to float one out. That's a turnover. Osman misreading the defense there. De Hoog. Emerson. I'm not sure it was intended for it, but she ends up with it. Combining, and too fast for Tamas.
Yeah, Burchett there and Anderson looking like they are working up the far sideline, and then just a little too quick, a bobble, and the disc went down.
Oh, it's going to pop up. It's caught. Thea Osman going to get another opportunity at it. Looking. Oh, she's not afraid, is Thea Osmond. And Sylvia Wong is going to bring it down for the GWS score. They're in front for the first time this game, 6-5.
How exciting. An opportunity from within their red zone there for GWS.
Incredible. They fought their way back in this game now. 6-5 is the score. They're going to have an opportunity to go on defense, see if they can get another break. Wouldn't that be interesting?
It would turn the tides of this game. As we watch there, GWS spread across the width of that field. The factory players in the space, but just unable to stop Sylvia Wong there from collecting that disc. Speaking to GWS before this game, we saw them on the stream first thing Friday morning, our first game out of the gate. They went down to Ellipsis there, 15-2. But immediately went up against Rogue, long-time rivals of theirs, crosstown rivals. And they managed to play very well against them. And they said that energy and that momentum is what they've carried through with them the rest of this competition.
Monty, an outside-in pull. Good distance. It's going to bounce. Edie. Oh, the first pass is cut off well. Birchall gets inside the GWS zone defense. Edie with the frisbee on the far sideline. The wind is getting a little bit stronger than what it was before. Birchall now. Oh, she's going to break across the field. What a throw to Cardenas. Looks. Oh, it's low and away to Birchall's left.
But Birchall with that throw really breaking open that zone. All the defenders having to scramble across the field to try and cover the next option there.
G will pick it up for GWS. Looking for the around, doesn't find it. It's O'Connor who tries to pick it up off her bootlaces. I don't know, did she have that?
It's a difficult one to tell there, looking at the replay.
Oh, it did touch the ground, but the question will be, did she have control of it?
That's right. You have to have control over the disc before it hits the ground for it to be considered up. If it hits the ground before control is maintained, it's down.
Yeah. Looks like O'Connor's just looking for a little bit of guidance here. Trying to find out if it was up or it was down. Looks like the disc will stay with O'Connor. Coming in, stalling one.
Yep. So the player's determining that she must have had control over that disc before it touched the ground there.
Incredible concentration to maintain your focus through that as you've dropped it. Oh, nice break out to Monty by Apple. Looking down the field, O'Connor cuts near side, doesn't get it. Monty goes back across the field to Apple. Looking. The stall count is rising. She's going to have to find something. She's going to huck it into the middle, and there's Drew Birchall popping up and owning the skies for Factory, getting the turn. Edie. Throw in the middle. They're off. Cardenas. near sideline. Hind to Birchall. Edie. Cardenas in space. Dawson is going to reach into the end zone, and it's a great defensive play there by Monty.
It is, and as we saw then, Factory moving it to the near side of the field to the camera, trying to get that advantage, that low side of the field. The wind just pushes those discs outside of the line. So coming up to this high side gives you a lot more space to move.
But now Tara G has to bring it in and tap it in the coffin corner. Tough place to throw from there.
Claimed a lot of casualties this weekend, that corner.
G testing Abby Dawson and coming up with a big F.
As we look, the disc gets to come in where it crossed the line to go out, so Birchall moving it back up there.
They've been caught on the sideline here a little bit. She needs to find something. Going to reach across the field, looking for Cardenas. Cardenas has made a meal of it, and Monty swoops in.
No call there by Cardenas, as she says that Monty was clean in that defense.
Monty having to go the long way around, applying enough pressure. And now GWS are off, and Monty gets involved in the middle of the field, going fast. They're off to the races are GWS. Apple comes near side to G. She's going to find Monty in the middle. Heavy contact there from Edie, who immediately doesn't contest the call.
Yeah, when you know you've hit somebody like that, you know, and the best thing you can do is turn around and say, sorry, yep, you're absolutely right.
Edie and Monty, two very high-level players. Comfortable with a very fast-paced game. Apple. Oh, she's going to put it into the end zone. Monty's in the area, so is Edie, but is it going to stay in bounds? Edie makes sure of it.
Yeah, that disc floating up, I think, a little higher than she would have liked. A lot of airtime for the defender to get up underneath there.
So Factory going to have to break down the GWS zone, and it looks like they're not going to have any troubles whatsoever. Off they go. Hind resets to Birchall. Out to this near sideline. Notard is going to not be in.
But read that disc very well, trying to milk it into the end zone, just a couple of steps short.
What a speculative throw, but into the ever-safe and ever-present Lizzie.
Lovely throw there, taking advantage of a lull in the wind to pop that little throw over the head of the defender, right into the hands of Edie.
We'll go down to Chantel Jones on the sideline.
Just a great grab there from Samara. She's known for having very sticky hands and being able to get up quite high off the ground. It's very unsurprising that she pulled that one out of the air.
Samara Notard, Factory representative, gets an assist on the big stage on the stream.
And just like that, we're back up to 6-all, Factory and GWS.
So we have Factory to pull. They are going to be playing defense.
They will be. GWS with their hands up, ready to receive the pull from Factory. Factory, disc up.
Nice pull there. So 6-all is the score. It's all level, and there is nothing between these two teams at the moment. GWS going to work. Osman, she's been good early. Looking to manipulate the Factory defense. It looks like they have settled into single coverage. The disc was completely lost there by Alicia Hanley. She finds it. Oh, and turnover. Unable to center it into Thea Osmond. Emerson to pick up for Factory.
Osmond, one of the players from Factory, as we heard before. She'll be disappointed with that result.
Hope Watson. Nice, long, gaining pass down there to Caitlin Grange, who finds another long, gaining pass to Lorna Barr, who comes to the middle. Oh, the disc popping up in the air. Annalise Hedich getting herself another block.
Another stat on the board for her.
Oh, nice inside throw by Graham. And Alicia Hanley and Betty Tan coming together. And they've ended up dinging themselves. So Emerson to pick up. Factory now to go to work. Grange comes to the near sideline. Watson into the middle, and guess who? It's Hedich again. Oh, Hedich. She had two and picked neither.
She did. Hedich, one of the rookies for GWS. Would you believe that?
No, I wouldn't have picked it. Emerson traveling, coming back. Caitlin Grange pops it up to Watson. What a score up win for Factory.
Lovely work from Factory. They're really using the width of the field, not afraid to come lateral before they gained those meters into the end zone.
Well, what a game this is turning out to be. 43 minutes gone, and Factory, they're just in front. They're going to pull and play D. GWS looking good at the moment.
Factory with a lot to play for here to retain their top 4 position. GWS just fighting in the chance that they might be able to secure a win here.
It's very much win and try and control your own destiny. It's incredible that Factory, should they lose this, they may slide all the way to 5th from 2nd. Incredible.
Factory having a mixed weekend so far. Their first game was a win against Hot Chili, then a loss to Ellipsis, a win to Manly, a loss on Universe Point to Rogue, and then a win against the Sugar Magnolias and Phoenix leading into this game.
Well, there you have it. 4-2 their record so far. This is their 7th game of the weekend. 7 games in 2 days. Well, 3 days rather. Apple, Mortimer, Factory playing zone. Monty to Mortimer. They go fast, gaining meters. Monty now will reach down the field. It looks pretty good. What a throw to Nguyen. She's going to call herself as in, believing that she's caught it in the end zone.
Looking at the replay here.
Of a warm-up earlier today by the looks. We may have vision, we may not. Steve Bacon nearby. It's tapped in, and so not in is the call. Tamas throws the flip to Apple for the score. Gee, Apple's been good early.
Appel has been good. She has been doing a lot of work there for GWS. GWS also having a bit of a mixed weekend so far. 2 losses early on, coming up against the very strong Ellipsis and Rogue, then claiming a win over the Sugar Magnolias from Newcastle, another loss to Manly, and then a win over the Melbourne Phoenix.
GWS, of course, sitting on a 3-3 record. They win here, maybe they go to 4th and get themselves a semi in the women's division. Top 4 go through, bottom 4, that's it.
The bottom 4 will play off for their placing matches, 5th through 8th.
But not what they want. They want to be up the top, somewhere earning a medal, maybe. But first they've got to win and they've got to earn this Galaxy point. It's 7-all here. Factory GWS Blaze from the 2021 AUC in lovely Canberra. Emerson, Edie. Emerson, back to Edie. Oh, Mortimer getting a piece of that. Edie again. You see Grange floating in there. Oh, De Hoog. It clunks into the left hand and falls to the ground. GWS with an opportunity.
It is an opportunity. The wind has just picked up a little bit. They are coming in from about the halfway mark on this field.
Handley with a big forehand. There's a pack forming. Monty's in there, but Liz Eadie rises above. DeHoog, a long cut is there. It's stopped well. Strong defense by Tamas, and Eadie swings it across the field. Grange. Oh, what a throw! What vision! Galaxy point! They've taken it! Factory!
Rachel Joyce pulling down that disc in the end zone there.
Incredible vision by Grange. Incredible. I don't know how she spotted the free receiver of Joyce streaming down the middle of the field. That is an incredible throw. We'll look at the replay here. Eadie. You see out the back. There it is. It's almost thrower initiated.
It was thrower initiated there. Joyce almost coming to a stop, her defender stopping with her, but Joyce quicker off the mark, created that separation, ensured that was a safe goal into her hands.
What an incredible first half it's been in this final pool play match in the women's division. We'll be back very shortly after a short break for the second half and the conclusion of this match.
Welcome back to the Australian Ultimate Championships. My name is Laura Hutton. I'm here commentating with Daniel Clenton. I also have from the sideline here, Chantel. What do you have to tell us here?
We would just like to point out that when we watched GWS play on Friday, they were actually missing 3 or 4 of their very influential players. Would you like to read out who they were?
So on Friday morning, we were missing Hannah Monty, who has been instrumental this game. We were also missing number 23, Emily Graham, and number 77, Amanda Parker.
All of those players are definitely having a big impact in today's game. Definitely can see it on the scoreline as well.
Yes, number 28, Hannah Monty, was coaching the Division 2 men's team from Canberra. She is Canberra-based, just picking up with GWS as that was her old team.
So as we come back, GWS straight out of half are going to go back to their zone defense. Dawson has to go low to catch that one. They're looking for space. Birchall again. They've got them trapped though a little bit here, GWS. There's not much in front of them. And Edie gets involved. Decides not to throw it to the cut of Air, who's working inside the zone. Air gets it the second time. Looking for Birchall. They're trapped now on the sideline. Birchall, realizing that, goes long to the end zone. Monty! Gee, she's good. Graham now, going to go around to Parker. Athletic catch, that one. GWS are off to the races. Appel, rising. Seeing plenty of the disc is Appel. She nods, looks for Monty, who hasn't stopped running the entire time. Graham now again with the disc, with that around Mortimer. Cannot bring it in.
What a turn there from GWS, and how quickly they took it away, stringing pass after pass together. Monty working so hard through the middle.
Well, GWS, that potentially was a golden opportunity to go upwind straight out of half and level it up at 8-all. It's not to be, at least not straight away, as Edie goes outside in. Ambitious, and is going to backfire in a big way, gifting GWS back the disc on the end zone line.
Yes, that disc not returning into the field, so the GWS get to take it from where it left the field, which is right on that cone at the front of their end zone. It can be difficult to control these discs. You can get sort of an end zone fever when you're bringing the disc in that close.
Yes, the old white line fever. GWS trying to isolate Monty. It doesn't work out as the force is very, very flat. Graham now back to Appel. She's been solid. Has the opportunity to throw it to Parker, who drops it. And wouldn't you know it, she is ropeable. And Birchall with a speculator blading up in the air. It takes a Mullaruduran off break, goes left, and now GWS have got it back just in a much worse position. Mortimer to Parker. She catches that one. Can't find anything down the field. Looks for Appel. The poach is there from Birchall. What a play. Heads up defense from Julia Birchall, who's now going to stick it to Dawson. Factory on the backs of their stars are looking to punch this one in for 9-7. Dawson with no stall. There's a free player in the end zone. Parker doing double time to cover them both. Air. Birchall again to Air. They're so close. Dawson looks inside. It pops up in the air. Monty gets a piece of it, and Edie! Edie with the catch!
Over the shoulder, disc flipping through the air. That is a difficult catch and one that should be celebrated.
I think you're underselling it, Laura. That wasn't difficult. That was impossible. How has she done that?
Looked up, and their hand-eye coordination to look up, recognize and grab that disc with only milliseconds warning there.
Incredible. Oh, the disc catching that edge. Monty, massive piece of it. That's a block in any other game that doesn't include Liz Edie.
And Monty, hands on knees there, can't believe that that was caught behind her.
Incredible. What a score, 9-7 now.
Not discounting that huge throw from Ju Birchall to Abby Dawson that broke open the field.
Well, it's the factory stars right now that are standing up for their team. Birchall inserting herself with a massive block. Huge heads-up play, completely leaving her receiver to go and get that block.
Having the foresight, that throw being telegraphed by the thrower. Birchall being able to get into position there.
So another beautiful pull down the field. It's going to give the factory defense plenty of space to work with. Thea Osmond. Wong looking down the field. Oh, nice throw out to Cooney here on the near sideline. Tan with a good look at it, Cooney. She's close. Oh, free receiver in the end zone. GWS as easy as you please. In they go for 9-8.
What a string of passes there down this sideline. Factory doing a good job to keep dropping their defenders further and further back, but unable to see that final cut in to the end zone to receive that disc.
Well, in terms of intent and signalling what you want out of the game, that's perfect from GWS. Just hard running all the way down the field with momentum, timing, and Celine Tarr to cap it off.
That lovely little cut, realizing that she had separation from her defender and that the defender in the area was looking the other way.
9-8 the score. This game has been so close the entire time, within 1 or 2 scores.
It has been. Factory getting a couple of points early, GWS bringing it back, and now it's looking like we'll trade point for point here.
Well, I hope not. I hope one of these teams can start to get on top, because time is heading towards the hour mark. The time cap is 100 minutes here at the Australian Ultimate Championships for 2021. Monty with an outside in pull. Mika Hartley is going to let that go. It looks like it has slid sideways out of bounds. The wind doing enough to push that out. I don't know.
It has. There was a quick discussion there by the factory whether they wanted to take it from that sideline there or whether they wanted to move it back into the middle of the field to the brick mark, as they are allowed to do.
So Hartley not rushing to pick that one up, because if she picked it up, she would have to throw it, right?
Yes, that is correct. The person who picks up the disc from the sideline does have to throw it.
A nothing throw from Liz Eadie into the middle. O'Connor from GWS, the only one in the area. And Alicia Hanley will now pick it up for this Sydney-based outfit. Cuts heading in every different direction. Hanley with a high stall. She's going to have to stick it down the field. She puts it in the direction of Monty. Monty now will throw it back to the middle. Headich has an age to sit underneath that. And 9-all the score. They've leveled it back up.
What a throw that was. The Hail Mary high stall count, but Hannah Monty in the area, no problem.
Hanley making a decision there, deciding on the high stalls that she just needed to put it as far down the field as possible, and puts it in the direction, the vague direction of Hannah Monty, who goes and gets it.
Yeah, and then Headage there doing a great job to read a disc coming straight over her head. Not an easy feat, but easily jogs that one in.
9-all. What a tight match this is. It's so close out there. You can tell that there is nothing in this.
There is lots of chatter from the sideline going both ways. Both teams trying to encourage the players on the field, let them know about defenders behind, let them know about opportunities to move the disc.
Thea Osmond to pull for GWS. She's been good today. Seen a lot of opportunities with disc in hand. Strong thrower in this breeze. These kinds of conditions, you need players like Osmond, players that can stretch the field. It's a good pull. It goes a long way down. Watson. Back to Emerson. GWS working their zone again. Emerson. DeHoog. Watson's in a bit of space behind the cup, trying to find that pass. Emerson decides to go to the far sideline. GWS, they're slowly pushing them towards that low side of the field. The low side being where the wind is blowing to. Oh, Watson drops.
Yes, that's the aim of that GWS Cup. Those defenders all pushing to the one side of the field, because once it's on that low side of the field, any little bit of wind can knock that disc out.
Mortimer. Can't find Appel. Can't find Osmond. The defense by Factory is outstanding. Outstanding team defense there. No one's free.
A lot of determination and grit there from Factory. They need this win to stay in contention.
De Hoog for Factory now. Emerson back with the disc. GWS transition back into their zone. They're still on the low side of the field. Oh, De Hoog can't get the disc to the middle of the field. Monty goes fast to Appel, to Mortimer. Back to Appel, who spanners it and regathers. The break to Monty. Mortimer in a power position. Appel. It's the same three names they're combining. There's a pick in the end zone. Did it affect the play though? Patterson.
Pick call there. As calls, it did look like it affected, so it will return to Appel there.
We're going to get a nice replay. Yeah, Liz De Hoog there. She just gets completely hung up on Madison O'Connor. No one's fault. Just something that happens in Ultimate, and for everyone's safety, it's something that needs to exist. So Appel has the Frisbee. Oh, it pops up, but Monty rises. Monty looking, it's going to float. She's right on the sideline. It goes out of bounds.
It does, but what a chase there from number 71.
So Hope Watson to bring it in for Factory.
GWS, this time you can see they've switched their cup. They are now forcing it to this near sideline, hoping that the lack of space and restricting to that narrow passage will work in their favour.
Because the point of a zone isn't necessarily to get a direct block, is it?
No, it's not. It's to control where the disc can move. It's to force either little lateral passes that won't gain any ground, or to force over the top throws, which in a wind can be easily knocked out.
Or incomplete. So now GWS, they've got them locked a long way down the field. And you see the disc just drifting slowly and slowly towards that low side. Huck to the middle, it's Monty's all day long. She's back there playing catch as Osmond to Mortimer. We'll look around to, oh, that is an ambitious throw to the streaming Osmond.
It is not a bad look there. The execution of that throw just not going to sit in the wind.
Watson with an outside in, a raking pass to Emerson, who drops it. It goes straight through her hands. I think looks like she's injured. Something has happened there. She's limping quite heavily. That left calf very, very heavily taped. Hopefully she's okay.
Hopefully she's all right. Moving to the sideline now, an injury call there.
You see her go straight to the ground after that catch. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe the calf just giving way.
Yes, as we see a substitute coming on for her.
Liz Eadie stepping on the field, going to replace the injured Emerson. Disc is tapped in. Thea Osmond. She's in a great space. You'd fancy her to throw the goal. She's just going to put it up to Monty, who can't reel it in for perhaps the first time today. And De Hoog benefits. Oh, that's a flat throw. A very, very flat throw. Gaining meters more than anything.
Yes, I think in that kind of situation with that cup, take the opportunity you can get to get the disc out of there.
Appel to Mortimer. Monty. Monty with a floating one to Mortimer. GWS, they're a little bit... Oh, Monty!
Oh.
It plonks in off the right hand as she reached for that one, going with the overhand grab.
Trying her best there, but the disc a little bit behind her, just an awkward angle to try and get a hand on that disc.
An awkward height, hard to catch that as it's moving away. De Hoog will bring it to the line in coffin corner. The worst place on the field to try and throw this from, and when you're facing a zone, it gets even worse. Factory completely trapped on that sideline. High stall, in comes Thea Osmond. She will throw the assist. No, she won't. A block. Factory. They are fighting and clawing. They are not going to give this up easily. Edie reaches down the field. Watched to the ground by Hannah Monty.
Yeah, Factory in their own end zone, defending, taking the grabs, pushing those discs to the ground, and then quickly trying to get that movement before the cup and the zone have time to set up.
They're understanding that it's so hard to move the disc against this GWS zone once they've got set, so going a little bit quicker, trying to break through and down the field before it gets set. Monty unable to get the disc far enough down the field. Deadman resets to Watson. Middle of the field. Grange to De Hoog to Edie. They're finding some space now. There's some gaps existing. Watson again. A nice throw down the field. Watson. Every second pass at the moment. Grange to Edie. Grange to Edie. To Grange. A lefty. I love it. Joyce to Watson, who's going to try and jump it in. She taps it in. I don't think she was in to start with. Confusion reigns, and it's Caitlin Grange scoring the upwinder for Factory.
And Factory there showing exactly what you need to do against that kind of zone. Not afraid to move laterally to try and move those players around, tire that cup out to let them drop behind until you get the opportunity to push the disc hard forward and then string passes together to make sure that momentum remains.
Looks to be a timeout call by Factory. This is a big point coming up for them. 10-9 the score, an opportunity to go up, one break. I want to come back to that lefty backhand. We might have vision of it. Hopefully we do. So we go back to the score. Hope Watson trying to jump that one in. Not quite there.
Not quite there. The ruling is the line is not in the end zone. So if your foot is touching the line, the first point of contact with the ground, it is not a goal. You need to move back, reset a pivot on the line, and then try again.
Yeah, we just saw the lefty backhand there from Caitlin Grange. What class, skills. Most throwers, they've only got the right hand. She's apparently got the both. For those short range throws, it's hard to throw a forehand at a short range, isn't it?
It is hard to control the short range forehand. Now, to be noted, when you do switch hands to throw those lefties, you need to keep the same pivot foot that you've had set the whole time. So you can't take the advantage of resetting a pivot foot.
So, Factory in their huddle, GWS as well. They're going to break now. That's 70 minutes gone, 10-9 the score. It's been pretty clean the last couple of points. Factory having to fight very hard in that last one though.
It has been. We've seen a number of turnovers from both teams. Some discs just going to the ground affected by wind or possibly fatigue. Others massive intercepts and massive defensive heads-up plays from both teams to recognise when a disc is in the air and coming through to ensure that their team regains possession.
Well, it's going to be great to watch these games back, and it's going to be very interesting to see how it all plays out in the long term. The opportunity for Factory to drop all the way down to 5th.
It is, and we have Chantel here on the sideline.
I just had a chat to Maureen Schmidt, the coach of Factory. She said the message in the timeout was that they're going to put a fun line on. They're very happy with how the game is going so far, and they just need to keep grinding it out.
A fun line. Wonder how they decided that. How do you decide? Oh, Caitlin Grange is on the boil at the moment. She is red hot. Massive block there. She's got it. She's right on the end zone line to Edie. Throw it back to Grange, says the crowd. And there she is for the score, 11-9. Wow.
Factory just showcasing their ability to get that turn, move the disc so quickly that GWS don't have time to set up a defence.
So we'll throw down to the sideline now with Chantel Jones.
I would definitely call that a fun line. Based on what I know about Factory, all the players on that field just then were very experienced, very knowledgeable, very safe hands and very quick. And that was very much demonstrated.
With that run-through defence there by number 33, Caitlin Grange. What vision to leave your player and run in to contest that disc.
It's been an incredible 2 points for Caitlin Grange, the last two. The lefty backhand to create the opportunity to score for Factory before the timeout. And then the block and the goal in this point. I think maybe leave her on the line. Have her play both ways for a little bit. She is standing up on the big stage.
She is. Factory with a little bit of a shorter roster here. We'll be looking to use the width of that roster, preserving some legs for games later today and tomorrow.
Burchett taking the pulling duties, and she's done an absolute workhorse of a job. Oh, a high throw for Tan, who cannot bring it under control. So DeHoog will pick it up for Factory. Another turn, another opportunity. They can be clean here and take this to 12-9. Edie back to DeHoog. The fake. Throw to the far sideline. It's dropped. Deadman.
GWS looking to keep a person-to-person defence there, perhaps realising that the zone they had set wasn't working the way they intended.
Tamas putting it up to Headage. She's made an absolute meal of it. She ran right the way around it. Maybe a little bit confused here in Canberra, the land of the roundabout. She went all the way around the roundabout on that one, and Hope Watson now has it for Factory, and it's another turn, and GWS are going to have another opportunity.
Yeah, that disc coming over Hedage's head and her looking left and right, trying to locate it. So we look here at GWS setting up in a vertical stack.
Appel will bring it in. Looks for the reset. Tamas can't get it. It's out into space. A nice bid. It's too far. Celine Tarr unable to catch that. And now Factory fighting for territory. They've driven it a little bit ways down the field. DeHoog floats it out to Edie, who steps into it and climbs right up in there with a big forehand to bar. Oh, you would love to see it.
Leaves her feet. Full stretch layout there to try and reel that disc in.
Appel, again, she turned the last one over. She's going to want to complete this pass, get GWS moving. She does well to Tan. Tan finds O'Connor, who's been quiet recently, and she decides to go loud. DeHoog reads it the best, splitting the two receivers and getting the block. Edie to Watson. Watson's going to put it over the diminutive Tan. It's misread.
Losing it again over the back as that disc arced from the left to the right. Tan having to choose which shoulder to look over.
Loiterton just didn't read it out of Watson's hand, lost it completely, and it gives GWS the disc back with Appel walking to this line.
But they do have the whole field to work it, so I don't think Factory will be too unhappy.
Oh, Betty Tan goes out on Loiterton, says I have the mismatch, can't trace me. Tan with the disc. Looks for the reset, finds Tamas. Betty Tan goes out again. Loiterton having to work hard here, keeping up with the little Tan. She looks for O'Connor in the corner, doesn't go. Appel fakes, doesn't throw it to O'Connor. Goes up and over. Tan, who had done so much. The cut doesn't come off, and Factory now have the disc. Edie goes fast to the line. Burchett Appel gets in the way.
That throw too low and flat. Appel easily able to pull that one down.
Betty Tan, she's been in everything. She's been great. GWS having to work out of their vertical. Inside the red zone they go. Tamas, pressure from Watson.
No call there, a clean block it looks like.
Hope Watson showing there's life yet in those wheels. The burst of speed to get through and get the block on Tamas. Edie. The reset to DeHoog is prevented. Watson. Edie is free. She's going to walk into it. Nice forehand down the field. She toes the line, does Burchett. The throw into the end zone. There's DeHoog. Factory are up 12-9 in this game. An incredible turn of events.
It is 3 points in it now. Factory is starting to extend their lead little by little. It hasn't been clean, it hasn't been quick, but I think Factory are making a stand here saying, no, we are worthy of that top 4 spot and we will show you how it's done.
They control their own destiny here and they have very much drawn a line in the sand and they are daring GWS to cross that line. Incredible foot placement there by Burchett on the far sideline to keep that in. I didn't realise how close to being out she was.
An incredible body awareness there to be able to toe that line while eyes are up on the disc.
Yeah, wow. That's incredible by Burchett. She's done well there.
And then good patience with the disc, waiting for the right option as DeHoog in the end zone collects it. Number 17, Madison O'Connor, not able to stop that score from happening.
What do GWS need to do from here to get back in this, do you think, Laura?
GWS really need to come out strong. They need to come out firing. They need to have their heads in and believe that they can make this difference back. They need to look to their experienced hands as well as their young legs to move them up the field.
Experienced hands, young legs is the call. G to Hanley. They've spent some time on the sideline. Wonder if they've gotten cold. G is going to have plenty of time underneath that to think about it. Nice throw up the middle to Tar. Again, GWS moving with good flow. Handley surveys the zone, decides to throw it to a handling partner, G. Back to Handley. There's some spaces down the field. Handley just taking a moment to survey. And there's a throw back through the middle, but it's blocked red best by Cardenas from Factory. And Birchall will pick it up. Dennis. Hartley trying to get free. Oh, well, Abby Dawson has thrown that out of bounds.
Another chance for GWS here, this time from halfway up the field. We can see Factory there looking like they might switch to a person-to-person defense after using a zone earlier.
Handley. The stall is rising. She's going to reach into the middle of the field. Dawson gets it back. She's going to have another opportunity. Thinks twice about picking it up, leaving it to Birchall instead to do the duty. Oh, big thumping forehand. G underneath it. It's read fairly well there. It's going to fall to the ground. Ringland.
Unable to pick that one up, but what a throw from Birchall to gain them some ground. And we can see that they've chosen to reset the zone here since GWS are starting behind the halfway mark.
Wong breaks the mark nicely there to G, who goes back into the middle to Monty. G to Monty. Past hard pressure there. Tar. G. Handler. Pick call. That's an interesting one.
It is an interesting one in a zone.
You don't often see a pick call when you're playing zone.
You don't, because usually a defensive player is guarding space rather than guarding a particular player, and a pick relies on a player being obstructed from following the player that they were chasing.
So this game has it all, 12-9. The home team up against the tourists from Sydney.
We can see some discussion here, possibly about when that occurred, when the disc will come in, as it's tapped in now.
G goes to Hanley on the far sideline. The factory zone is set now, but Hanley breaks well to tar back to the middle of the field. Hanley, it's tipped, but it doesn't matter. Wong catches it, and Monty, now on the high side of the field, goes back across the field, raking past to Hanley, to Wong, who was in everything there. 12-10 the score. GWS back on the scoreboard.
And what a professional move by GWS there to move the disc all the way to this far sideline, moving the defenders, catching them off guard, and then moving it back to that sideline, forcing them to turn, not able to catch up before that score is punched in there.
So much life left in this game. There's so much left to do. Factory in the lead, looking good at the moment, but GWS just not going away. They're not going down without a fight.
No, a very highly energetic game here. GWS not willing to admit defeat just yet, and we do have some time left on the clock. This time cap will go at 100 minutes, but that is not when play stops. At 100 minutes, that point is finished. One is added to the highest score, and we will play to that score cap instead. There is no hard time cap here at Australian Ultimate Championships.
And we've still got 16 odd minutes before we even hit time cap. There is a lot to do yet. You fancy it going the distance to the score of 15. Thea Osman. What a great game she's had today. Another great pull from her. We see Emerson back on the field. The calf. Maybe she's okay. She looks to be moving all right out there. Burchett back to Emerson, to Watson. Grange as well on the field. Some of the young talents. Oh, Emerson. It bounces off her hand, falls to the ground. Appel goes fast to the disc. Cooney. Cooney looking. Oh, guess who? It's Grange.
It's Grange running through there to grab that intercept.
Oh, and Burchett's going to stick it to this near sideline. What a throw that was to Joyce. Watson. DeHoog is in space. Watson finds her. Lorna Barr goes out. It's covered well. There's someone way in the back there. It's too far. Too far for Burchett. Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Just a little bit too much gas on that throw. Chantel from the sideline, what did you see?
I just had a quick chat to GWS. They're actually trying to take every moment of this game. They're yet to call a timeout. Even though the Factory have had a couple of streaks, they've really brought it back.
Great observation there, Chantel. Thank you for the information. No timeouts for GWS. That's incredible. Normally a timeout is called, you know, at least once in a game, if not twice, because you've got 3.
Yeah.
GWS deciding to just run this one. And Cooney, she cut about 80 metres to catch that pass. Graham cleaning up the stack to Osmond in a great position. Oh, there's a foul. As Emerson trying to cover her player just gets hung up there. Not deliberate though, but still a foul.
Still a foul. So the number 38 there will retain the disc.
Osmond with a low throw. Puts her hands on her head. She knows she had an opportunity there to hit Parker for a score, and an 11-12 score line doesn't eventuate.
Those opportunities are not cheap, and it's hard to see one of those thrown away that close to a score there.
Barr will catch it in an acre of space out there. She's in a paddock all by herself. DeHoog joins her. Emerson. Back to Watson. GWS. They've got containment back with the zone. The players forming a ring around the disc, preventing those downfield throws. Emerson. To... Oh, just a wayward throw into the middle of the field there. Has Parker free, but I don't think anyone can reach her. Appel gets the disc, gets involved. Emerson goes with the reverse mark. It doesn't help them get the disc back as GWS go in the end zone. It is the 11-12 scoreline.
It is GWS bringing this back up to only 1 point in it. How tight is this game? How close and how highly competitive are these teams?
Well, Appel has been good all day. She finds Patterson for the score. What a game it's been. We'll go back to the replay as we watch Appel getting that disc. And you watch Patterson just working downfield at this stage of the tournament. Day 3, everyone's tired. Her work rate, she exceeds everyone. We throw down to Chantel Jones on the sideline.
We could hear on the sideline before factory captain Birchall screaming out to her players on the field, "We win this point with our legs," which really refers to that they have to run hard. They're very well trained, so it might be a battle of endurance in this last couple of points.
Endurance and heart, that's all you've really got at this stage of the tournament. All the hard work was done months ago on the training fields, and well, from here it's desire and heart. Who wants it the most?
That's it. And Factory, I think, using their legs to beat that zone to make sure they stay in front of that pack of defensive players.
So Air will pick it up. Birchall. GWS come back to the zone. Cardenas. Birchall. Edie. Faking, trying to manipulate the wall. Oh, nice throw through to Air. Edie again. Birchall in the middle of the field. Headage working overtime, trying to cut off the pass, prevent the swing, keep it on the low side of the field. Birchall goes with 1-2 to Edie. You can see Birchall looking back towards the middle of the field. You can tell where she wants to bring it, can't you?
Yeah, you can. There is a call there. Birchall looking back to this middle, again, to keep the disc moving.
It's important to keep the disc moving when you're playing in a zone offense setting, isn't it?
It is, especially to try and tire out those girls in the cup, like I was saying before. Those 4 defenders having to chase the disc across the field. And the hope is that at some point they fall behind, they're not able to keep up, which opens up those downfield options.
So the disc will come in on 1. Birchall goes with a 1-2 to Edie again. They're slowly drifting towards that low side of the field. Air. Birchall. Birchall faking. Edie. They can't quite get around the edge of that wall that the GWS players are throwing up in front of the disc. But Factory, inch by inch, little by little. Guess who? Hannah Monty with a block. Just when they need her the most, she stands up and gets them the frisbee. A low throw to Hanley. Factory going to match. They're in single coverage across the field. Hanley looking for O'Connor. It floats up. O'Connor against 2. She does well. Around to Monty in a paddock all by herself. The deep cuts rain outwards. Monty with the around to O'Connor. It looks like it'll stay as a turn. The call not affecting the play.
Call not affecting the play, so they decided that the turnover stands. Factory will get another chance, quickly moving it to Julia Birchall on this side of the field.
Great spirit from Hannah Monty there. I think she kind of said that I threw that away and nothing would have changed that. Oh, a drop in the middle of the field. Maybe the pressure is starting to mount.
Yeah, it's also very cold here. The cold breeze blowing, cold hands make it difficult to hold on to discs like that, but we can't afford those kind of errors at this point of the play.
What a rip from Handley. She has stuck that 60 yards down the field, and Headage, the throw has almost gone too far because Headage was all by herself with nobody around her. And by the time any of the GWS players got there, it was already stall 5 or 6. So a call has been made on the field. It looks like a pick. Birchall getting hung up. there on Note Hard. And O'Connor, another pick call in the stack.
Yes, players all rushing to get open into space, running through other players, creating those situations where a pick is going to arise.
There was Cardenas just getting hung up, and O'Connor throws a wobbly one. And Factory get it back. They've got it all to do. Birchall, she spots something she likes, and she reaches down the field. It's a great catch. Hind going to the far sideline, air in space. Cardenas is free. Birchall on the doorstep. She's knocking on the door, and she's going to float it up to air for the score, 13-11.
What a beautiful throw that was, up and over the top, taking advantage of a lull in the wind again, recognising that that throw is on.
7 minutes to go in this game. Factory, they're good. They're to the good by 2. 2 more points if they can do it, and they are booking their place in a semi-final. They get to control their own destiny. GWS not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. We see the throw again, just popping it up and over. Air, a competent receiver as well as an excellent handler, catching herself a goal.
And that throw, that we've been calling it the corner of death this whole weekend, but that wind dying down right at that moment, and so Birchall knew that she could control that disc right into the hands of her receiver.
Yeah, the coffin corner, it's hard to throw it out of there. Very easy to throw it into there though, isn't it?
Yes, the disc often being guided into that corner by defenders who have realised that it's so difficult to get out of that corner successfully.
Burchett, another excellent pull. She has done a wonderful job with the pulling duties for Factory today. There seems to be a call on the field, a travel perhaps. It looks like it has been retracted. G taps it in, looks for Tan. Mortimer, back to G. Tan, again in space. Yeah, they're looking for her. Tan out the back. She's got herself free of Edie. She's right on the doorstep. Mortimer, they're close, GWS. Heavy contact between Tan and Edie, and Tan drops it.
Excellent work from GWS there, moving that disc quickly down into that red zone.
Unbelievable. Grange now. She's had a great game. She's been in everything. She's had blocks, scores, assists, you name it. She's done it. Burchett, you wouldn't have thought it, but she's dropped that cold. Bouncing off the hands. So GWS will take over. Thea Osmond picking it up. Oop, there is a pick call in the stack. De Hoog just making up her ground there. 95 minutes gone.
2 points in it. This will be tighter than I think either team would have liked.
Osmond with a big throw and a big block there. Burchett, special player.
Getting up high there. Setting herself in such a good position to just tap that disc out of reach.
So Watson now. Tar does enough and gets the turn. They're deep in the red zone. GWS with a golden opportunity to bring this game to 12-13. Can they do it? Osmond taps it in. Tan working in space. It's all Betty Tan, and it's all golden for GWS as they bring this game back to 1 point.
And what separation Betty Tan was able to generate from her player there. 2 steps ahead of her, just a space all of her own so she could concentrate on just getting the disc into her hands.
Look, Liz Edie, no mean defender, and Tan just working hard in the space. You watch her, just pure speed, straight past Edie, who does her best, but nothing you can do there. Betty Tan, just too much acceleration. And Thea Osmond, a nice assist for her.
That's it. I don't think Factory would want the game to be this close, especially after getting that late turn in the red zone just then. That'll be disappointing for them, but hopefully they can come out firing here, put another one on the scoreboard to maintain their lead over GWS to retain their position in the top 4.
Yeah, Factory, they need this score. They need to take it to 14. They need to go downwind here. GWS, oh, it's a big moment for them. If they could go upwind here, Laura, take it to 13 all. You'd fancy them, wouldn't you, to go downwind in the next point and go up by 1, wouldn't you?
You could. Factory have proven time and time again that they are great in the upwind. They have a lot of experienced hands. They have a lot of collectedness about them on the field. So it's definitely not a certain thing, but bringing the scores to even would give GWS the chance that I think they need.
Yeah. The goal scorer last time she was on the field. She picks it up for Factory. Dawson looking down the field. Dawson with a nice one, floating it out in front of Ringland. Ringland looks, air goes up the line. Ringland only has eyes for Hartley in the end zone. That is a turnover.
It is, and that won't be what Factory wanted, but they will be able to turn their defensive pressure here up and try and contain GWS to this end of the field. It's going to require them to come out firing, to be looking heads up.
So you see the stack slightly diagonal, pointed towards the corner. GWS trying to create space, with Hanley with a nice throw. The wind has other ideas about that as Birchall taps it in for Factory. The hometown team is in possession here. A low throw as they will discuss whether this was caught by Catherine Hind. She's put the disc on the ground, which I think, means it will be a turnover. We watch the throw.
Yeah, just a little bounce there off the ground. So even though her hand was underneath it, it had already contacted the
Hanley
ground.
has both Parker and Monty in the area, but there is a call. Hanley throwing a bomb into this wind. She's not worried by the conditions at all.
She is not. That was an excellent throw, but a pick in the stack meant that Monty wouldn't have been free to receive that, so the disc goes back.
Big matchup between Abby Dawson and Hannah Monty at the moment. That is crucial that Monty is kept out of the play. If Hannah Monty can get involved here, you would fancy GWS going all the way down the field and bringing this to 13 all. Hanley, high stall. Hartley underneath it. It's Parker, though. She catches with the left, and Parker goes to Hannah Monty. Oh, I called it just before. I knew it was going to happen. And there's nothing that Factory could do to stop it. Hannah Monty, what a star, 13 all.
Hannah Monty in a paddock of space in that end zone, able to take her time to look, take a good take of that disc.
So an interesting occurrence now. The time cap has just gone in the distance, Laura, but that point had already finished.
It had. So, looking at this, is it game to 14 or game to 15, Daniel?
It'll be game to 15. The next point starts as soon as the last one ends. Monty, she caught that mere seconds before the siren. That means this is a game to 15. We have to finish this point and then add 1. Because both teams are on 13, that means we're going the distance here in Canberra in the Australian Capital Territory. This final women's pool play match.
There has been a timeout called here. Both teams gathering in. What would you think they would be saying in these huddles, Daniel?
I have no idea, but what I wouldn't give to know what is being said over there right now, I think that there's a lot of insight in offer into the mentality of some of the top teams in Australia. You see Factory huddled up on screen. GWS close. COVID restrictions being lifted now, so physical touch is back in, which is lovely.
It is. How important that is too for a team. I think this timeout really crucial for each team to settle, to look at what their goals are here, to talk about what they want to do well, and to possibly set up some set plays coming out of this to try and ensure that this point might be scored quickly here.
Well, 13 all, game to 15. It's crazy. Factory, if they win, they maybe get second, they maybe get third, but they control their destiny. They get a decent semi. They lose, maybe they slide all the way out of the knockout rounds to 5th. This is a massive, massive match. GWS with the opportunity to find themselves in a semi if they win. It is all to play for. Birchall to Edie. Back to Birchall. GWS bring the zone as they have for most of the game. Edie. Burchett. Back to Edie. Dawson combining. Strong line out there for Factory at the moment. Looks like there may be a travel call.
It looks like a foul call there, possibly.
Yeah, on Catherine Yu. Calling a foul on Dawson as she moved past her in the zone.
Contested, so we'll go back to the previous thrower.
Edie. Burchett. Dawson. They're on the low sideline now. GWS have them right where they want them. The space collapse. It's no problem for Burchett, who rakes her pass through the middle, who Abby Dawson bids for it, can't catch it. So Appel will go to work now. Oh, Birchall flashes as Parker lets that one go. She has the out cut. And there is the throw to the end zone, but it's Burchett underneath it. Burchett drops it. It nearly results in a GWS score, but...
What a read there by Burchett, pushing through into that space, claiming possession of that disc.
So Julie Birchall to bring it in. Oh, outside in. It catches a little bit and it falls to the ground. We had great vision of that. Rachel Joyce, she caught it and then dropped it. Appel near sideline to Yu. Yu, the lefty. Monty. Monty goes to the fat side of the field. Graham boxes.
A bit of a collision there at the back of the field.
Graham just establishing position and air is just clattered into the back of her. Yeah, ugly coming together between the two players. Looks like an uncontested foul.
An injury taken as Graham is moving off the field.
Can be painful, the old studs to the back of the leg. All the players out here do wear some form of football cleat to help them with their footing and change of direction. Ultimate is all about acceleration, and
it is all about quick and precise direction changes in the point of the cut, the movement to get the disc.
There's some conversation going on at the moment. Steve Baker's in there. We'll try and listen in.
And still contested, they would have made a bid at it. Yeah. In that case, it's treated the same as a contested foul. So it'll go back to the last thrower.
Okay, yep. So I'll tap it here.
We'll send it back to whoever's the last thrower.
Okay, so it goes back to...
Here there.
Steve clarifying the rules there. So the disc will go back to the previous thrower. Everybody returning to where they were when that disc went up as best they can.
And in this example, near enough is close enough, isn't it, when it's up to remaking your space?
As long as it's agreed by the players that it's approximately correct. It can be so hard when a call happens mid-stride to remember exactly where you were on the field.
And it's more about the relative position between the receiver and the defender, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So Monty brings it in. Mortimer works to the near side under heavy pressure there from Joyce. Monty gets the reset. Looks for Rappel. Instead goes around to Yu. Yu looks off the under and directs traffic to Mortimer. A big long cut from 10, who breaks to Monty. Monty into the end zone to Appel, who bids. Oh, you cannot believe it.
Oh, outstretched hand and just couldn't grab onto that by Monty. But what a look to that break side of the field to set up that cut.
Edie with a long throw that never comes back in. The turnover's right the way down the field. So GWS, it doesn't matter. They have another crack at this.
Back in their red zone.
Appel, the layout, bid, a near score. She will pick this up and bring it in for GWS. Her opportunity to throw the assist, take them to 14-13, to take the lead now in this game.
Would be something else. She is down in that corner, that back corner that we've talked about so much. The wind is blustery.
Betty Tan trying to work in space, is covered well. Mortimer to Tan, who finds it now. Tan fires one across the field. It floats up in the air, too high. Birchall, Dawson, Edie to Air. Goes with the forehand to Burchett. Lovely grab up high. Burchett pumps the backhand. Now comes near side to Dawson again. Factory, they're running hard. Appel bids, can't get there. Edie, Dawson. They're so close. Dawson tests it across the field, but Betty Tan gets in there. What a block by Tan. Her team needed her there. The captain.
Great vision there to come across, realising that that throw wasn't going to be punched into the close corner, but instead swung around to that high side of the field.
Appel will pick this one up as we head towards 109 minutes in this pool play match. We're not even in the knockout rounds and it feels like a grand final. Hannah Monty looks, has the cut, cannot connect. To Factory, Julia Birchall near side, gesturing calm as she walks to the disc.
Gesturing everybody to slow down, take a breath, think about it. Remembering that instruction earlier to do the basics well.
Birchall picks it up. Oh, he's going to go to the fat side. Dawson's out there. Dawson catches the goal for 14-13. Factory!
14-13 to Factory. They'll be happy with that. A few turns there, a few close calls.
Oh, what might have been, what would have been, what could have been. If Appel catches it in the corner, GWS Blaze are 14-13 in front and got a good opportunity to go downwind for the win. It's not to be. Factory score upwind for 14-13, and now they can go downwind for potentially the win. We will throw it over to Chantel Jones on the sideline. Chantel, what have you got for us?
The hype on that sideline is out of this world. You can tell that every player involved in the game wants this. They're communicating through and through, and it's great to see.
Thanks, Chantel. Would be great to be on that far sideline. We're stuck over here in the commentary booth in the 5-star accommodations provided by Alti TV and Kayo Sports.
Yes, we are. And looking at Factory, you can hear their sideline providing them with information about where players are on the field. GWS telling their players where they should be on the field. Just lots of hype, lots of excitement, lots of energy being poured into these teams as we see the pool go up there.
This could be the last point. I feel like there's going to be tears regardless of what happens. A nice catch there by Tar. Tamas. O'Connor. The pass gets jumped by Abby Dawson. Oh, what a star she is.
This is
just as they need something. Factory now on the back of Abby Dawson have an opportunity. Julia Birchall. DeHoog. There's nothing downfield. They're completely static. Oh, Tamas jumps in front. Gets a block. What a turnover.
What intensity there from Tamas as she runs through that disc.
Just as a star from one team gets involved, Dawson from Factory. Tamas, a star for GWS, and that's a block.
A hand on that one. They have to be happy with that.
A massive point block. I think it was Grange.
unable to complete a pass here. Factory really need to bring this in and settle, finding good, safe hands.
Grange! Oh. She hit the ground hard there. O'Connor with the travel. And I think a bit of contention there between De Hoog and O'Connor. I think De Hoog's argument was that O'Connor changed direction.
Yes, players able to take a few steps when they catch the disc to slow down, but they have to maintain the same direction they were travelling in the whole time.
Oh, another block. Dawson again. She's been great today. Hartley walks to the frisbee. Hartley looking for Edie. There's two GWS defenders. Edie, no!
Oh, comes down hard, but such good work from Rachel Cooney there to be in the area to get that pressure on.
Oh, she got a big piece of it. But Edie, with that crazy catch earlier, you'd bet she'd catch that, not to be. And GWS, a long way to go down the field. Monty getting involved. O'Connor goes fast to Hanley. Tamas, back to O'Connor, nice grab up high. Fakes the big backhand. We know she has that massive backhand, does O'Connor. And every time she fakes it, a 1-2, the backhand fake again. Handley. Factory having to work hard here to try and stop these cuts. Cooney's open on the near side. Handley can't find her. Monty to Tamas, It's 14-all in a pool play match, and we're going to Universe Point.
Universe Point, can you believe this? 14-all, and we are back to that schoolyard adage of next point wins. 14-all. This has been a nail-biter the whole way through. Both teams not willing to let go of this game.
Oh, they were down and out. The chips were down. I thought GWS were about to lose this game. They turn it around. They take it 60 yards down the field, and they punch in a score to take this to Universe Point. What a match this has been. Oh, it has been an absolute privilege to commentate on this one for you today.
It has been not a dull moment here today. We have had a little bit of everything. We've had turnovers, run-throughs, intercepts, everything you could imagine, and it all comes down to this, the last point of this match.
Well, we've been here for 115 minutes, and none of it matters. None of it matters. It's the next point.
It does.
GWS are going to go downwind. They are on defense downwind, though. So Factory will receive first possession and first opportunity at this game.
They will be working it upwind, but they have shown that they are capable of putting throws into that wind very easily.
Birchall. De Hoog. Bichette. Birchall now. Bichette. Watson. Is this the game-winning line? Bichette has Grange out the back. Watson. They're stuck on the sideline though. Gets it to Birchall, who fumbles it. Unable to get it into the middle to De Hoog because of that fumble, maybe. Birchall. Bichette. What a great game it's been for Bichette. Birchall pivots through the wall. Nice raking throw across the middle, but Hannah Monty with a block.
Oh, that run through intercept, and Monty immediately ready.
Hanley will pick it up. Pumps, fakes, Monty goes out, the throw's there, Parker in the area. Huge bid by Grange, can't get there. Parker to Monty for the game. They've done it! GWS, they have upset the home team. It is incredible. Where has this come from?
GWS GWS crowding onto the field there, jumping with celebration. Factory, hands on hips, can't believe that this is the way that this has gone for them. But GWS, Universe point, 14 all. Hannah Monty gets the run through. Hannah Monty gets the score.
Oh, I am speechless. I am stunned. I don't know what's happened. Hanley, the Hanley throw to Parker. A huge bid by Grange. Just millimetres short, and then the throw by Parker to Monty.
The look of recognition on her face as she realises what that score means.
That is incredible. The replay is wonderful. Watch it. Oh, insane. Absolutely insane. We'll go down to the sideline. Chantel Jones, I believe you have one of the players down there.
I do. I'm here with Caroline Tamas. Tell us how you feel. That was amazing.
Oh, we feel really good. If I had sweat in my body, I would be crying right now, but we just left her all out in the field. It was so good. We just came. This was the match that we came to play, so this is really exciting, especially because we got it streamed, which is great. Much better than the other game that we will not name. But it was awesome. Everyone played their hardest. Loved it.
Commendable effort. I believe this puts you through to the semi-finals. Is that correct? We will double check that. It could be an upset, could be factory through. Either way, it's a fantastic win. You should be very proud. I'll let you head off to your team.
Thank you.
Cheers. We're going to head to a quick break. We will then follow up with an opens game on this field. See you soon.
guesses what that score means?
That is incredible. The replay is wonderful. Watch it. Oh, insane. Absolutely insane. We'll go down to the sideline. Chantel Jones, I believe you have one of the players down there.
I do. I'm here with Caroline Tamas. Tell us how you feel. That was amazing.
Oh, we feel really good. If I had sweat in my body, I would be crying right now, but we just left it all out in the field. It was so good. We just came. This was the match that we came to play, so this is really exciting, especially because we got it streamed, which is great. Much better than the other game that we will not name. But it was awesome. Everyone played their hardest. Loved it.
Commendable effort. I believe this puts you through to the semi-finals. Is that correct? We will double check that. It could be an upset, could be factory through. Either way, it's a fantastic win. You should be very proud. I'll let you head off to your team.
Thank you.
Cheers. We're going to head to a quick break. We will then follow up with an opens game on this field. See you soon.